Okay, Stephen, the season ended a while ago now. Looking back now, what are your sort of general thoughts on how the season went?
Well, it was a season of success overall, but a season where we learnt a lot as well, particularly during the playoff period. And I think for the fans and for the club, it was a season of success. And we are building this club, and we are moving from step by step for more and more success. Obviously, massive disappointment we didn't make the grand final. But as I say, I think overall, the fans say to me it was a good season overall.
Now, you mentioned not making the grand final there. One of the things that happened was the club call. Now, the club call's been called into question recently, and Warrington abstained on the decision. Why was that?
Well, Tony Smith has long had strong views about club call, and we respect Tony's views. We felt because of Tony's views we should abstain. The Rugby Football League think it is a really good device. It's motivational. It brings excitement towards the end of the season. But we're not certain it has the effect the Rugby Football League think it has. They are in charge, they're the regulator. So because we've got some uncertainties about it, we decided to abstain. But of course, club call will happen next year. But I hope I'm not there to do it again, because I have to say, after the Leeds game here, one or two fans did blame me for choosing wrong, but there were only a few, I'm pleased to say. It was very, very difficult to choose. It would either been Wigan or Leeds, and we planned actually for some weeks, and we talked about it here to choose Leeds. But if Catalan had beaten Wigan in that semi-final, we might have thought about Catalan, but didn't really want to play Wigan.
Why abstain then instead of voting against it outright?
We're still not certain it's the right thing to do. We're not totally against it, we're not totally for it. I think we'll just see how it develops, and we thought abstaining wasn't just a neutral and a cow's way of doing things. It was basically what our policy position is.
So you say you don't want to be in that situation again next time, so who will make the decision?
Well, if we do have to do club call, we will do club call. And I presume that I was chairman, I will do it again. But I don't want to be in the situation where we are in a club call position, really. Rather get there through another route other than being through club call.
Now, hindsight's a wonderful thing. Looking back, you said you didn't want to play Wigan, but some people thought Wigan would have been a good choice because they were struggling after the Wembley appearance, and they'd already had to play St Helens, and a team there for the taking, possibly.
Yeah, a lot of people gave that advice, but overall, judging the situation as it was at the time, we thought Leeds was the better choice for us at home, and that's what we went with, and obviously it didn't work. I mean, club call perhaps motivates the team you choose, and that's something we've talked about here. But as I say, hope not to be in that position next year with a club call, and hope the pathway to the grand final for next year is a lot smoother.
Well, yes, I mean, Warrington have had 3 great seasons, back-to-back Challenge Cups, winning the League Leaders' Shield, but still looking for the Holy Grail. Yeah, we are looking for the Holy Grail, and during the close season we've strengthened the squad with 3 very good signings, obviously 3 good players have left the club as well, but we are going from strength to strength with younger players coming through as well, and the squad overall is stronger in depth, and the talent is a lot richer than it was for last year, so we're confident that we can move even better to perhaps even win the grand final this year. That's my ambition. It is the thing it is the prize that all the supporters want to see, as well as obviously getting to Wembley again and lifting that wonderful 1897 trophy. Traditionally, though, finishing top of the pile is usually the indicator that that's the top team, the best club in Super League. But the way the playoffs work, a team finishing 8th, which had a very poor season, could actually go on and be crowned champions. Yeah, and that's the rules. And we're in the competition, we understand the rules. Lots of people don't understand, if you do win the league, how you cannot have won the grand final. My wife doesn't understand this. It takes some explaining the playoffs, but that's the rules of the competition at the moment, and we play by the rules. I mean, do you think the Rugby League could do a little bit more to recognise the status of finishing top of the league? Yeah, probably they could, and we've got the League Leaders' Shield. I think recognition of a medal for the players
and a bit more celebration and winning the league after 27 games is not only for the team but for the supporters actually. And we have been talking to the Rugby Football League about that, and that's something which I know they're aware of, and to celebrate the league championship in perhaps in a more positive way.
And at the very least ensure that the players get a memento or a medal for winning the league.
Yes, and again that's something we've been talking to the Rugby Football League about.
Have you made any suggestions that perhaps Wigan should release the old championship trophy and that the teams can compete for that?
I've seen it in a cabinet in Wigan, and certainly Ian Lenihan, the chairman of Wigan, and I are good friends, but we're also foes as well. And that's a conversation I know the Rugby Football League may want to have. But of course, that trophy was gifted to Wigan some time ago, and it's their property. But the overall winning of the league is a massive emotional event for the club. But I do think, yes, it could be celebrated in a bit more of a spectacular way than what's currently on offer.
Now, looking to the future, the club's got this fantastic trip to Australia looming. It's almost a Hollywood trip with the Russell Crowe link with the Rabbitohs. How much does this mean to Warrington Rugby League Club?
Well, it's good for player development, certainly the younger players, but it's good for us to take our global brand of Warrington Wolves to Australia. I mean, all big sporting clubs understand if you want to grow your business as a community business, you do have to make it a global brand. So we're making a start actually. We've obviously had warm weather training before pre-season, but to go to Australia and play in Australia against Russell Crowe's team is not only good for the club, but it's good for us from a business point of view, and it's for those reasons that we are doing it.
Will there be any sort of looking at Australian players as well as possible players for the future at Warrington Wolves?
I think containing the players on the beach, not looking at other things than players, is something I'll have to contain, Gary. But certainly, we never say never. We've got a very good talent recruitment and spotting system for the club across the whole of England, Wales, Scotland and Ireland, and certainly we'll be having a look in Australia.
Now, the team as it is at the moment, is it right up to the top of the salary cap, or is there room for manoeuvre?
We're a club that's always been at the top of the salary cap, but as you saw last year, we late on signed John Monaghan, which was a great success, and one player left the club. We'll never say never, but at this moment in time, we've got a good young squad of players coming through. We've got a good team, a senior squad, and at this moment in time, we are at the salary cap, but as I say never.
Looking away slightly from the rugby, but still involving the rugby, the whole country, the whole world is going through a global recession. A lot of people are struggling at the moment. Some people might say that having a trip to Australia was one expense too far?
Well, the trip has been sponsored very kindly by Emirates, actually, and that's a very good, positive relationship we've now got with Emirates, one of the world's best airlines and in itself a global brand. So they provided the support for the trip to be made. Simon Moran has given us some support, and as I say, the reason we're doing it, one, global brand, and two, for player development, and also for our staff here at the club to see how rugby league is developed and marketed as a business in Australia, where obviously it's a much bigger sport than it is in England.
Has the recession had much impact on the rugby league family?
It has, but not so much here actually, because success does breed success. People are pressurised with money in their pockets. Disposable income is very tight. But at the moment, the season ticket sales here are up by 6% on last year. I think people recognise we are building a community club. The new stadium expansion, the works that people can see on your website and elsewhere, they're going really well. And as I say, the fans here recognise we are going forward and are coming out in increasing numbers to support the Wolves, despite the hard times which are around at the moment.
OK, Stephen. Well, thank you for your time as always. I'd like to wish you a Merry Christmas and a happy, healthy and prosperous New Year, and hopefully one the Wolves can actually get the Holy Grail. Yeah, thanks very much, Gary. I wish all the supporters and the team happy Christmas. Thanks again for all your support during the year, Gary. Cheers, Stephen.